Thank you for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. In this episode, I will be looking at the defense pact that's made by the countries of Sahel. Why this is a mockery of the United States of America's foreign policy. The lectures from Washington about democracy and also Russia fell on deaf ears in Niger, Mali and also in Burkina Faso. In this episode, I will be looking at geopolitics and also some specifics with regards to failures of Washington's strategic options in the continent of Africa, especially in the Sahel. So without any more delay, let's just dive straight into it. On July 6, the three leaders of the countries of Western Sahel, Mali, Burkina Faso and also Niger, signed a treaty to establish a security alliance between them. This announcement came during the first summit of the Alliance of Sahel States, abbreviated as AES, a trilateral body formed by three governments in September of 2023, encompassing a total of population of over 72 million people. This is in accordance with the announcement that the three governments made in March that they will jointly create a task force with the goal of better integrating security operations in response to possible threats. The military rulers created AES to formalize their own alliance in a new intergovernmental body that they intend to also serve as an alternative to the economic organization of West African states known as Ecowas. The much larger regional group focused on advancing economic and also integration and facilitating diplomacy among its members. So far, a number of other experts will consider Ecowas to have been a failure with regards to the Nigerian situation. The July 6 treaty formed a deeply interconnected also confederation between three countries that looks to facilitate dialogue on matters related to security as well as deepen their own economic ties. In a clear indication of his perspective on the role of foreign governments and also multilateral bodies have played in Nigerian affairs, Niger military leader Abdul Rahman Tiani said in a recent interview during the trilateral summit that our people have irrevocably turned their backs on ECOWAS. It is up to us today to also make the AES Confederation an alternative to any artificial regional grouping by building a community of free from also control of foreign powers. Those are his words. The three governments have a history of calling out foreign countries, particularly France, and external bodies for interfering in their domestic affairs and imposing strict connections on their governance in return for good relations and also aid. Part of their anger has been directed towards ECOWAS, which has sanctioned member countries that fail to maintain democratic governance. If you look at strategic options, following last year's coup in Niger, ECOWAS threatened to intervene with military force if democratic rule was not restored. The Nigerian leader called ECOWAS bluff and the regional body ultimately break down. The three military-ruled governments jointly announced their withdrawal from ECOWAS in January of 2024, bringing to the forefront question about ECOWAS' future and the ability to resolve regional disputes. In an unsuccessful attempt to dissuade the governments from leaving, ECOWAS announced in February that it would lift sanctions on Niger that had been imposed after the coup. But beyond dissatisfaction with ECOWAS, the three governments have also expressed frustration with foreign powers. On Monday, July 8, the United States of America announced that it has completed its withdrawal of 1,000 American troops that were stationed at the military base near Niger capital, Niamey, and also that it will continue to remove its personnel from a second military installation in the country. This comes in response to a ruling Nigerian junta ordering the United States of America to end its military presence in the country. From the junta's own perspective, the United States of America had failed to reduce insecurity and also been unable to improve the economic health of the Nigerian people. Despite millions spent on the country, the United States of America spent over $223 million in aid to Niger in 2023 alone. Insurgent groups remain present in Niger, while the economic health of the country remains dire. If you look at other strategic options, prior to last summer's coup, Washington had worked with the civilian-led Nigerian government on security issues, including sharing security intelligence, conducting military training programs, and also building using multiple military bases in the country. Since seizing power, however, the government has severed the once strong alliance with the United States of America, expressing dissatisfaction with the way the American officials have reportedly lectured them on the importance of democracy, something clearly not of interest to a ruling government, and also acquired power through a coup. The United States of America had also argued that the geopolitical risk of forming a new security partnership with Russia pose a danger to human rights, and also another issue that likely failed to resonate with a military government whose top priority is maintaining power and builds on also what the Nigerian people need, than also helping the United States compete against Russia or promote the United States of America's intervention rule-based order with regards to its own strategic option. Ultimately, the creation of this new alliance and the recent news of the creation of confidency in yet a further sign of how far the three countries have drifted away from the West. Gone are the days when the United States of America and France maintained close ties with those countries on the grounds that they were working to advance mutual security interests in the regional fight against terrorism. Now, they are openly antagonistic to Western powers while gladly working with Russian forces whose security support helped them meet their own self-interest. If you look at strategic option, as France left the western part of the continent of Africa, a number of African nations, especially in western part of the continent of Africa in the Sahel region, have decided to take their own future in their own hands and making their own choices. We all shall be looking on how the AES functions and how it's secured the people of the western part of the continent of Africa. We want to thank you for watching. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think regards the AES and how that benefits those three countries in the region. If you are new here, we encourage you to subscribe, share our video, and watch other informative videos on our YouTube channel. Keep the conversation going. We are looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
The military leaders of Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger met for their first summit in Niamey, Niger, after their withdrawal from Ecowas. They accused the West African bloc of its failure to discharge its mandate of promoting economic integration in all fields of activity of member states.
Indeed, the formation of the Alliance of Sahel States has already made it possible to see around Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger an honorable coalition based on a common defense architecture.
The formation of the Confederation of the Sahel States last year did not sit well with the regional bloc Ecowas. The regional organization has since appointed the president of Senegal as an envoy to help mediate between ECOWAS and the three leaders.
We have convened this ordinary session to once again review the situation in our region. We are aware of the enormous challenges, including terrorist activities and violent extremism, threatening to spread from Sahel region towards the coastal states, especially those that witnessed constitutional changes of government. The decision of the three Sahel countries of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to withdraw from ECOWAS has also been noticed.
In March, the former South African President Thabo Mbeki touched on this issue when he was engaging students at UNISA.
What is happening in West Africa, Palisa, as you can see, is a rebellion by young officers against French neocolonialism. It's not only military coups to remove some elected president, but these young soldiers are saying our politics since independence has respected this junior relationship with France. That must end. But we have a particular consequence now, where Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso decide that they are walking out of ECOWAS. Now that can be a positive development.
He also challenged the continent to reflect on the matter.
It's necessary for us to understand the objective reality. What actually is happening? It's not just young soldiers who are hungry for power and therefore remove this elected president. No. That's why they talk about Thomas Sankara. Sankara took power by coup d'etat. He was a soldier. But Sankara understood this particular issue, the need to destroy and defeat neocolonialism.
This latest development in West Africa is likely going to be discussed on the margins of the AU Mid-Year Summit in Ghana.
So what are the primary objectives of the first summit from the Alliance of Sahel States?
Now, as you pointed out, this is the very first summit, an extraordinary summit. And one of the main decisions that are expected from this summit is the adoption of a text that was drafted in May, creating a confederation of the three countries. So it will be interesting to see which of their sovereign powers they're going to relinquish in favor of this new entity.
That's interesting. The meeting will be held on the eve of the ECOWAS meeting. Is this a message there that they're sending?
Absolutely. It's a way for them to show that they are really moving away from the regional organization. They are trying to do their own thing and that they don't want to have anything to do with ECOWAS. Remind
us some of the main points of contention between these three countries and ECOWAS.
Well, the main point of contention is that these three countries have been facing jihadi violence for a number of years, but they say that ECOWAS has not really helped them to fight the jihadis. And the other point is that they feel ECOWAS is too much under French influence, and they believe that for them to develop, they have to move away from France, and that's why they kicked out the French troops from these three countries.
Yeah, that's clear there. And then the hostility towards French, how has it influenced their foreign policy and also international relations?
Well, it has really influenced their foreign policy. Now they are opening up to countries like Russia, like China, even Turkey. So they really feel that they have to move away from French influence, and that has had an impact, a big impact on their foreign policy.
And one major news to look forward to after this summit?
Well, one major, as I said, we are looking forward to see what kind of which of their powers they're going to relinquish to the new confederation.